They left you broken, but you are not the shattered pieces they think you are. You gave everything. Your time, your trust, your heart. You poured your soul into them, believing they would protect what you had built together. But when the storm came, they abandoned you. They walked away as if your pain meant nothing, as if your world crumbling was just another inconvenience they could leave behind. In that moment, they left you in ruin, their absence louder than any words they ever spoke. They didn't see the light in you. They didn't value the love you gave. And they never understood that their departure wasn't just a loss for you. It was a betrayal. Now, in your darkest hour, they return, pretending that time has healed the wounds they inflicted. But the truth is, time doesn't heal. Time hardens. And what you're left with is not the person you once were, but a version of yourself that has learned the hard way, the hard truth. You don't owe them anything. They will crawl back, seeking the comfort of the ashes they once left behind. Don't let them. They return when the world around them crumbles, when the silence of their choices becomes deafening. At first, you may hesitate. Maybe they look different. Maybe they sound different. Their words seem softer, their voices more sincere. They will say they've changed, that they've learned from the mistakes they made, mistakes they never cared about when you needed them most. But you've heard this before, haven't you? The hollow promises, the sweet-talking words that never meant a thing in the moment. This time, it's no different. Their apologies aren't for you. They are for themselves. They aren't coming back to make amends. They are coming back because they've realized that you were the one thing they took for granted, the one thing they couldn't replace with all their fleeting distractions. They didn't see your worth when they had you. They didn't respect your love, your time, your loyalty. They didn't care enough to stay when it mattered. And now, with nowhere else to turn, they return like vultures circling the scraps they once cast aside. But do not mistake their desperation for sincerity. Their return is not a sign of their growth. It's a sign of their failure. They only come back when their own lives have unraveled, when they've used up every option and come to the crushing realization that they need you to patch up their broken pieces. But you are not a band-aid for their wounds. You are not their second chance. You are not a fallback. And most importantly, you are not here to fix what they chose to break. Think about this for a moment. Why now? Why do they come crawling back only when they have nothing left? They had you once. They could have treated you right. They could have seen your worth when you were standing right in front of them. But instead, they let you go. They chose to leave, to abandon you when you were at your lowest, when you needed them the most. Now they return when they are drowning in their own regrets, hoping that your sympathy will be their lifeline. But you've learned, haven't you? You've learned that you can't trust their promises. You've learned that the only person who can heal your wounds is you. You've learned that they were never capable of giving you the love and respect you deserve. They were only capable of taking. And now, when their own world is in ruins, they seek the comfort of the ashes they once left behind. They seek the refuge of your strength, your compassion, your ability to forgive. But this is where you draw the line. They don't want to make things right. They want to feel better about themselves, their guilt, their shame. It's all too much for them to bear alone, and they need you to ease their burden. They expect you to forget the past, to ignore the hurt they caused, and to welcome them back with open arms as if nothing ever happened. But you know better now. You've been through too much. You fought too hard to get to where you are now. Your progress, your healing, your strength is not something you give away easily. It's not something to be taken for granted again. When they knock on your door, don't let them in. Don't let them come back to re-enter your life as if they have any right to do so. They had their chance, and they squandered it. Their return is nothing more than an attempt to rebuild what they destroyed, to make themselves feel whole again without ever acknowledging the destruction they left in their wake. Do not let their brokenness become your responsibility. You owe them nothing. You owe yourself everything. You have learned the painful truth that their love was conditional, their loyalty fleeting. They didn't stay when they should have, and now they return with empty words, hoping to rewrite the past. But the past is not yours to rewrite. It's theirs to carry. They are the ones who walked away, and now they must live with the consequences of that decision. You are a warrior who has stood in the fire, who has walked through the storm, and who has come out stronger on the other side. You do not need someone who abandoned you once to complete you now. You do not need someone who only calls when their life is falling apart. You need someone who will stand by you, who will fight with you when the world feels like it's against you. But they have proven time and again that they are not that person. They never were. So stand strong. Hold the door shut. Do not let them in. They want to feast on the remnants of your strength, but your strength is not for them. Your resilience is for you. Your heart, your soul, your peace, they are yours to protect. And you will not allow anyone who left you in ruin to come back and destroy what you've worked so hard to rebuild. They return because they have nowhere else to go. But you are stronger now. You don't need them. You never did. Don't let them pull you back into the darkness. You fought your way out. Now, you must keep moving forward, leaving them in the shadows where they belong. Your future is waiting, and it is brighter, stronger, and better without them. Keep your door closed. Forgiveness is not an invitation to destroy yourself again. They will tell you they've changed. They will beg for your forgiveness, for a second chance, as if they never walked away when you needed them the most. Their words will be sweet, their promises intoxicating. But remember, words are easy. Actions speak louder. True growth doesn't happen overnight. True change is not demonstrated by a few sincere words or the occasional tear. If they truly wanted to make things right, they would have shown you through consistency, through respect, through effort. But all they offer are broken promises, lies dressed up in the language of regret. Don't fall for it. Forgiveness is not about allowing someone to come back and break you again. It's not about reopening the wounds you've worked so hard to close. Forgiveness is about you freeing yourself from the chains they left behind. But it doesn't mean opening the door for them to walk back into your life. They took your peace, but now it's time to take it back. They don't deserve to be in your life, not after what they've done. They had their chance, and they threw it away. It's time to take back control of your life, your peace, your future. You are not their backup plan, their safety net, when their own life falls apart. Every time you open that door, you give them power over you. You let them control your emotional state, dictate your happiness, and keep you tethered to the past. But you are not meant to be a prisoner of their mistakes. You are meant to soar, to grow, to heal, without the weight of their baggage pulling you down. Your peace is more important than their apologies. Your future is more important than their regret. It's time to let go of the past and take the reins of your own life. You are capable of so much more than they ever allowed you to believe. And you will never allow anyone to steal your peace again. They will never see your strength until you refuse to let them in. It's easy to get lost in the idea of second chances, to believe that somehow, if you let them back in, things can be fixed. But the truth is, reopening old wounds will only tear you apart again. They think they can waltz back into your life as if nothing ever happened. But you know better. You know that the damage they caused is not something that can be undone with a few apologies or false promises. When they return, they will offer you what seems like redemption, but it's just another form of manipulation. They're trying to ease their guilt, fix their brokenness on your time, with your emotional energy. But you have already paid the price. You've already carried their burden for too long. It's time for you to move on, to release the past, and never let them back in. When you let go of the past, you make room for the future you deserve. The moment you stop holding on to the hope that they will change, the moment you close that door for good, is the moment you unlock your true potential. You are no longer a prisoner to their mistakes, their lies, or their regret. You are free. Freedom doesn't come from forgiving those who hurt you. It comes from realizing that you are worthy of more. You're worthy of love that doesn't abandon you when things get tough, of respect that doesn't fade when life gets hard. When you let go, you make space for the things that truly matter, the love, the peace, the joy that you've been searching for. The life you've always dreamed of is within your reach, but it requires you to close the door on those who only want to return when it's convenient for them. You are stronger now. You know your worth. And anyone who doesn't see it doesn't deserve to share in the life you're about to build. Never let those who left you in ruin come back to tear down what you've rebuilt. Never open the door for those who left you in ruin. They will try to come back, to pull you back into the storm they once created. But you are no longer the person they left behind. You are someone new, someone stronger, someone who knows their worth. You have learned that you don't need anyone who doesn't value you. You don't need their approval, their validation, or their presence. You need only your own strength, your own peace, and your own future. So when they come crawling back, remember this: you don't owe them anything. You owe yourself everything, and the best is yet to come, but only if you never open the door for those who left you in ruin.